Hello everyone, welcome to the transportation expert, me. First, we are going to talk about the problems in desert. Desert contributes to global warming by human activities such as burning fossil fuels. The temperatures in the desert keeps rising faster than the global average and it has affected the deserts, which makes the desert hotter. In desert, there is almost no vegetation with very high temperatures. The roads in the deserts are horrible, the traffic system is undeveloped, and there is a lot of off-road traffic. Blown sands can often be found in roadways. During the day, the temperatures rise to an average of 38 degrees Celsius, which is over 100 degrees Fahrenheit. At night, the temperature falls to an average of negative 3.9 degrees Celsius, which is around 25 degrees Fahrenheit. What are some sustainable ways to transport things into desert? These are the 5 most common ways to transport: railways, roadways, airways, waterways, and pipelines. Transport in the desert is very limited at sea. So, using camels is the main means of transport in the desert areas for roads and air. However, buses still remain the most common transportation on roads. Over the last several years, there has been a rapid rise of the number of cars that do not require gasoline to run. Instead of pulling up to gas stations, drivers are now connecting their hybrid vehicles into electric power sources. These cars can be charged quickly at home or on the moves. The Toyota Prius, a gas-electric hybrid, was the first vehicle to bring green driving into the mainstream. Climate change hopes that the same drives for improved fuel efficiency and reduced emission. The importance of sustainable transportation. The importance of sustainable transportation is that it can reduce the environmental footprint. Using non-motorized transportation such as walking and cycling have nearly zero impact on the environment. Sustainable transportation doesn't produce greenhouse gases, consume energy, or pollute the air and noise. Public transportation also reduces the number of vehicles on the roads by producing less emission per passenger than single-person vehicles. Some advantages of sustainable transportation. It can reduce greenhouse gas emission. In the United States, and railways contribute for only 6% of total emission, which it makes them significantly greener than cars and trucks. Financial costs. Many transportation are expensive, so purchasing tickets for buses can be worth personal savings. Safer transportation. In addition, taking public transportation into the city is 10 times safer per mile than driving a personal automobile. Disadvantages of sustainable transportation. Hybrid cars and camels may be hard to handle. Camels can be mad or it won't listen to the passengers or the camel's owner. And hybrid cars have less power, so it has pretty poor handling if you use it much. Can be expensive because of purchasing materials such as batteries and the own hybrid gas car. And the camel can carry less load than vehicles because they are not as big as vehicles such as trucks and buses. Camels are slow and they need to be fed, rest on the way, and they may not move properly at night. Buses can need long waiting times and it can be delayed. Buses can be crowded, so there will be a higher chance of getting sickness and diseases. Efficient transportation system encourage different solutions to single-person vehicles, and reducing vehicles' miles traveled can reduce greenhouse gas emission, maintain fuel, and lower the fuel cost, improve air quality, reduce traffic congestion, and make streets safer for pedestrians, bicyclists, transit, and other users. Transport has significant environmental consequences because it is a major energy consumer and uses the majority of the world's petroleum. This produces air pollution, such as nitrous oxide and particles, and contributes significance to global warming by emission carbon dioxide. Droughts create desertification. The United Nations reports that human activity is the primary cause. Human caused environmental problems in the desert and include overcultivation. And it makes strained irrigation system, mismanagement of available water, fossil fuel mining, and the introduction of invasive species. Droughts are becoming more common as a consequences of global warming, which dries up the water source. Higher temperatures could lead to an increase in the wildfires, which would change the desert landscape by removing slow-growing trees and shrubs and replacing them with fast-growing trees. Grass. Based on my research, I have come up with a solution. Since there are lots of off-road traffic, camels can be the main transportation in our city. Camels are sustainable, which leave zero impact on the environment. It will be helping people to go back and forth from places to places. For long rides, transportation, and delivery, hybrids, vehicles, and buses can help. Buses are a lot cheaper than purchasing your own car. And it can hold more than 50 people, which release less emission than cars do. If you don't want to use public transportation, instead of using gas car, use a hybrid car, which is an electric car that doesn't require gas. This type of transportation can help reduce emission, but using this car for a long period of time can lessen the power. For delivery, we can store most of the things into the buses and the rest for the camels. Hybrid cars can be used for transportation. However, buses are still the most sustainable transportation option.